Welcome back, everyone, after that quick little break here. You're watching Pro in our Ballroom. Before we get into our second set, of course, massive shout outs again to frequent supporters here, and event that I generally love, Outplayed, going to be happening again this coming February the 24th, 25th, our first confirmed GBVSR major event here in Europe. Fantastic time. Vienna's a wonderful city. If you want to sign up, that's the link that you want to go to, the Virtual Dojo tweet that has everything that you want to see in it. But if you want to sign up and catch that early bird sign up, that ends in just 3 days. So, make sure you hop on quick if you want to get, that good gaming in at a reasonably affordable price. Also accompanied with your costs for travel and your costs for accommodation. All of that. Yeah. But yeah, no, we were talking about offlines earlier, and there is truly nothing quite like offline Grand Blue, even when it comes into a new game. And hey, there might be some base Grand Blue there as well if the demand is there for it.
I think so. I know, like, a lot of people are, on the fence about Rising. Some people are sour, some people are dooming. But even then, I think there's no better, way to engage with a game, especially when it's new, and it's like a new version of a game that you're playing, than in an offline setting. And I think it's going to be really cool, right? In the same way, so I remember going to my local and playing Street Fighter a month after it was out, and I'm not even a Street Fighter type of guy. But it was really fun because it's a completely different way to engage. You play completely different people in a different setting. You're just fighting, the ranked monsters, and the usual deranged Street Fighter gamers. And obviously we don't know how Rising is going to be, neither in terms of gameplay nor in terms of popularity and player base. But that's always a gamble, and I think it's always nice to go into these offline events about newer games. And again, yeah, okay, it's not exactly a newer game because it's based off base Grand Blue, but it's going to be pretty different. The meta as well is going to be probably vastly different regardless of how the game plays out. So
for sure,
always interesting.
But yeah, it'll be a good time to see some Grand Blue coming in, the offlines. UTC.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, nice. That's okay, they'll hold on. But while you're reconnecting, you said you had some stuff you wanted to say about this matchup and these players, so do you want to introduce this matchup?
Yeah, so again then, as previously, I was kind of thinking about today's matchups. And we were talking about this specific matchup in the Discord a few weeks ago. With, okay, why is the network error occurring? And why is Light as well dying?
You good? Do you need a screen share?
I don't know, because my internet's fine. Everything's working. It's
probably
a Grand Blue thing.
I'll shove the screen share up for you in case you need it.
Yeah. So it was about Yu and the Desoli.
Right.
And it's very simple to think about. Vira is more of this rushdown shadow function who wants to be up close and doesn't really like being against zoning. And Metera, yes, she has that set play, she has the pressure, she has the mix-ups, but at her core, she is a zoner. That's just the reality of it. But she's not one of those zoners that has a DP. She's not Ferry. She's not okay, I know Beelzebub is not exactly a zoner.
I would consider him under that example, yeah.
Yeah, but he's closer to other characters. And he does have that DP, which is very annoying for Vira to deal with. So it has this sort of dynamic that whoever's winning the matchup is winning really hard. And then obviously install comes into the equation and the dynamic shifts again. Which is really interesting because I feel like this is just the basics of the matchup, and then you go into the who's playing the matchup, who's piloting which character. And these are, the premier Vira and Metera of the scene. So I really am really interested in seeing how they're going to be approaching it. I know that a lot of people have a lot of things. Oh, that's a cheeky reset. A lot of things to say about the habits of each player. Just Shibi dudeakoff and all that. Yes. But especially in a versus 10, especially in this Zona matchup, which in long sets can be very mentally taxing. I just want to see how Light is going to traverse it.
And to emphasize this, that was 1 round.
Yeah. Like, this could be a while. Like, even if it's one-sided, it could still be a while.
It definitely could be. And I can't recall seeing these two play in kind of this heavy, longer format sort of set before. We've seen them play at Hard Edge Weeklies before, but this is not a first to 5. This is a first to 10. There's plenty more games to go around with these two. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. Light's already shown a couple of things I think are really key to stopping Metera's offense in the neutral. We've seen him DP hops already, we've seen him F for Metera out the corner, stop that corner escape. So definitely has been practicing this matchup, considering only a couple of months ago we've given him a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, understandably so, right? Because when you go into a matchup like this without a solid game plan, without like having a specific thing that you want to do, it's much harder because you feel forced to do something. You don't want to just like stay full screen and get poked or chipped or whatever, right? Yeah, and Light's just not having any of it, like, in using those cooldowns to get in. And I mean, obviously it makes sense, because why hold the cooldowns if you're not going to be able to use them while getting close up? Both players also, like, just showing some really nice defense, I feel like. The double rush, okay.
dudeakoff, what are you doing? Oh, you're dead! Oh, you're dead! And I love the Arcane loop there. And yeah, not exactly a meter that was wisely spent there. dudeakoff, a game into this, maybe a little bit frustrated on defense already.
I can see why. I can see why you would do that double rush, like, because like, okay, one interaction is going to kill.
I can understand it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Like, I can understand why you would do it, but probably not the not the best piece of your meter.
Yeah. Nice.
Speaking of meter,
Light. Yeah, Vira, the heaviest meter gain character in the game. Light is not going to be struggling for meter really at any point during this set, and very adept at using it, very adept at getting these plus frames from the M Scarlet of all this chip damage and up right now. Not quite getting the punish on the butterfly activation, but is going to counter hit that mash that came afterwards, and looking pretty smooth for Light.
And you know, the M Scarlet Oath is always like this sort of like button that a lot of people are going to tell you what the counterplay is, and they're going to say, just hit it, just react to it. But even when you react to it, sometimes you can get hit out of it. And that's kind of fine when it's base Vira form.
Yeah.
But when she's on the install,
you get the strive counter hit. And, not a fun thing to be hit by. Love the back shift here to kind of negate the corner reversal. We're back in the mid screen regardless. Nice anti-air.
So, one of those things that I feel like I've identified very quickly about dudeakoff's play is that he's been taking a page out of Mr. Talsbrook and using that aerial movement of Metera, both to like get out of the corner, but also to just command exactly the space that he wants to be in, which dudeakoff has been doing. It's not like something novel or something, but it feels like he's been getting more cheeky with it in a good way. And I really like that.
I've definitely noticed him using that fight movement quite a bit more recently, especially in these corner situations, which is what PAL is known the most for of any player really in the continent. So it's a good thing to be compared to. Oh my god, what an interaction. Nice block on the overhead.
Yeah, and this is like again the Vira effect, right? That you've been doing pretty well. You've been getting all those interactions against and then you're like, oh, she's about to OD or install, and I'm
Well,
a bit
here's
scared
the
now.
thing, is like, we make the joke sometimes, oh, I love these situations where characters are just a hit away from death, but oh my god,
Yep.
like, it
Yep.
was a joke, it was a joke.
No, it's not. I called that. Because that's the thing about Vera, and the thing about this matchup specifically, because, yeah, you know, okay, I'm Metera, I'm zoning, I'm escaping the corner, but I don't have, you know, that great defense. I kind of have to guess sometimes, and you don't want to be guessing against Vera. It's not what you want to be.
No. Yeah, like showing that one in full force, just how much damage Vira can be doing when she needs to, when she's got that full meter at her disposal. Yeah, 2-0 up here.
Yeah, so Vira is one of those characters I feel like is really good to explain to newer players, regardless of game. It doesn't have to be a background blue, about risk reward, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that she's like always in favor of the risk reward, but she has very good tools to skew that skill into her side, skew the balance towards her own side, and to be like, yeah, you can win 3 interactions, I don't care really. I just need one. Ooh, that's gonna be a whiff ticky.
Ooh, that's unfortunate that punish didn't work out the way the dudeakoff wanted it to. I respect the attempt at trying to get that butterfly activation for the extension. So it still has the health advantage here, has the meter advantage as well. Is in the corner, but kind of comfortable with it really.
Yeah, because you know you have Metera in the corner, but you still have to, you know, reach her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a reasonable position for Light to be trying to contest, but at the same time, you know, you're in a situation where it's not going to be good regardless. You kind of feel forced to do something. You're out of meter. You're not going to get the install. So, speaking of install, Light did try to get into those 5Us in the first couple of games, which dudeakoff was having none of it. So I want to see whether or not we're going to go back into that later on or not into the set. Because this is something that's really interesting to me. So there's 2 types of players. One type of player is going to keep doing options regardless of whether or not they work. And other players are going to do them even if they see that the opponent has the responses. And just as I'm doing this whole segment, Light is going to go for the 5U, and I like that. I think, yes, testing the waters is good, but at the same time, you need to be able to know, or rather, you need to be able to have the confidence to just go again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, I've been kind of pondering quite a few of these interactions that are happening here at the moment. There's some interesting stuff going around.
Oh!
Just shimmy dudeakoff coming out.
Yep.
Great advice right now. Like, not able to get the hard knockdown off of this conversion. Gets the bow to establish that bow. Nice. Safe. Yep. You cannot do anything about that. Dudeakoff is not quite going to lose a 50 unit from rush on it. Now actually seeing 100.
I'm not sure, and I would love it if any of the resident Viras is in chat, but I felt like this could have been a kill from Light after dudeakoff getting caught on from the Lumi, but I could be absolutely wrong.
I forget how much health he was at, but it's like we're talking about here, so it's always a certainty. But yeah, dudeakoff going to tie up the set now, 2-2.
Yeah, and it feels like he's been getting better at, well, exactly what Metera wants to do. Just slow down the game, make sure you're comfortable, make sure you're like trying to go back, trying to rush into it, and then, you know, just hit your face into those butterflies, into those projectiles.
Yeah.
And he's been sniffing those 2-1-4s as well, which is really nice to see.
Oh, the 5U's going to land.
5U. Yep.
So while this 5U round takes place, and actually dudeakoff, oh, never mind, not going to talk about the defense against anyone. Something I do kind of want to mention, something that's kind of been on my mind quite a lot since I've been talking about Bub's matchups with people, is these are 2 characters that really like to establish their own pace on how to play. Metera wants to kind of keep you at a bit of a distance, and then when she's comfortable, when she's got this butterfly set up, she wants to head in a bit more, get that high damage. and end the rounds that way. Vira, on the meanwhile, actually has to be right in up close to get her damage. Not a character with Fireball, doesn't have any long range options outside of Lumi. Nice backdoor incident. But her pace that she wants to get is she wants to land that grab early like we're seeing here and then stick to you like glue, which Metera does not enjoy. Reversalist character without meter. Vira does have that reversal to kind of stop Metera's up close game plan potentially. And yeah, can spend the meter here on the punishment ray. A little bit too late unfortunately, and is going to get an anti on the way back down here with the Grace View. Pushing the corner with the fur. I'm going to take a breath now to let you talk for a little bit.
Yeah, so I've seen this interaction a few times, and understandably, Vira players really like to use that full screen super as sort of like pseudo reversal against zoning. But Metera is one of those characters that really has good recovery on her projectiles, and you need to be like just on frame when you're doing that if you want to get that punish. I feel like I've seen this just get blocked by Metera way more than I've seen against any other character. Honestly, most of the fireball characters just can't do anything. Like if you throw the fireball and they're ready to just having buffered the quarter circle, you're probably just going to get hit and die. It's understandable that you're going to still try to do it because, I mean, yes, you lose the meter, but you're already install. You don't really need the meter. But at the same time, not sure if this is exactly the matchup that you want to be going for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a scramble. And now,
how long Metera hung in the air for after that counter hit. You know that shit is impactful. But yeah. About the meter game, or the meter situations rather. Oh wow, guess the extension there off that little clip. I do think it's worth pointing out that Vira with 100 meter is one of the strongest characters.
yeah, absolutely.
Without much question. So spending that 100 meter on the punishment ray and then maybe not actually getting the punishment from it is not ideal.
Oh yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh god, this is though.
Yeah, she really has those like absolutely disgusting damage anti-air combos, doesn't she? So what I want to go on before this whole thing happened was I really like the way that dudeakoff is approaching those OD situations. He's not always going for the ODs, but he understands, when he needs to go for them, and is going to take his chances. Like just before he was about to get chipped out, got into a scramble and just run straight through the screen next to light to get that OD. That was a really good round, just like enough for half an argument to be made about those things.
I'm loving the back-to-back perfects. These two are keeping it really close between them. I mean, it's kind of how it is. Like, Vira is obviously an incredibly explosive character. She's consistently got that high damage. Metera not quite as much, but that high damage is there when she needs it. So the back and forth between these two might not look so back and forthy in-game, but it's nice to see the set count remaining very equal between them.
I mean, it's this sort of like all or nothing dynamic that we kind of talked about at the start, right? It's just the nature of the matchup. Sometimes things are going to be very one-sided, and it's hard for the other character to establish their game plan once the opposing game plan has already been established, and we're like going through those motions of either the zoning or the corner pressure.
That's MVP.
Yeah. One of those tools that Vira players really like, understandably so, because having a, basically a fully functional DP on, it doesn't have the same like cooldown ramifications of the EXDPs, right?
Yeah. Oh, like missing the rush there, getting the overhead instead.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And now exactly what dudeakoff wants to be.
Is that gonna punish the butterfly? Not quite.
Nope.
By the skin of his teeth, though.
Yeah, exactly what. Oh, the Lumi.
Yeah, Lumi actually gonna be working out in here.
I have to go and check out the frame data on punishment ray and Lumi now, because I'm really curious if Lumi's actually, in a very weird way, more effective at punishing some of the full screen options. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's not.
On it is, it's definitely not.
Yeah. But I just want to see, how different they are, just so you have a better idea about it. So let me go ahead, pop up Dust Loop real quick.
Light's been really consistent on these DPMs here. I really appreciate that. We've got blocked in the corner here at the moment. The plus range coming out. I'm expecting that OD might come out in a second from dudeakoff. Hasn't been popping it too much kind of this set so far, but it's something he definitely likes to rely on. Throw from Light, just going to pop dudeakoff into the corner. Hits the overhead off the graceful jump view. This should be killed. No way. Oh yeah, backs away, baits the overdrive, and yeah, Light going to take up in the set again.
That was just combo limit, right? Like it's not like you have done
it. Was. I'm just surprised that it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough damage.
Damn, punishment rate is faster than I thought it'd be, which just makes me want to go ahead and look at the recovery data.
You do have to account a little bit for the travel time. It's very fast,
but it has like
still a little bit of travel time.
8+6 setup is really quick for a full screen sort of like thing, I feel like. I thought it was like 10+7 or something like that.
dudeakoff just going back through that zoning at the moment. Comfortable being in the corner. For now, at least. The cooldowns are exhausted though, and yeah, chooses that as his opportunity to kind of move in, narrow the range between the pair of them, wait for those cooldowns to come back. And yeah, it's working out for him. Light's not able to hop into install, but might not need it here. Nice spot dodge on the overdrive.
Just to put this into perspective, Heavy Lumi has 86 frames of setup. So
yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, it's like almost 10 times the setup. So
nice in, keeps him in the corner. There's a BP combo limit as well. And dudeakoff, classic wake up heavy. Not gonna spot dodge this overdrive though. He's gonna take a little bit of a chunk out of it with that jump M though. Pops the overdrive himself.
Yeah, makes sense. You don't want to get chipped out by the opposing overdrive. Ooh, that was very fancy.
Spends the meter a little bit early here. Gonna leave him that throw away just a bit under. Light still has that OD on his side though. Not that Vira needs it to kill at this point. Oh no. And yeah, just able to do that TK arrow in. Gets that round back.
I mean, you said this before, but dudeakoff's been kind of schmoving in the air today. I really like it. Like, that corner situation was kind of filthy. I didn't block that, I'm not gonna lie.
I like that a lot, yeah. dudeakoff's definitely aware that Light wants to be trying to snipe him with that very generous close heavy anti-air that Vira has. Yeah, good on him. But no, dudeakoff's always been a fan of the TK arrow throw bait. And we've seen it a couple of times in this set as well. He's good at making the most out of it.
Yeah, certainly. It's just in the corner, just mixing it up with the extra jumps from the JU is just really nice. And what just happened?
Yeah.
That side switch was very weird.
Oh, got the overhead hit, but didn't hit the butterfly. And yeah, Light's going to be able to escape in the corner.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Pushes him back, and now on the right-hand side of things, there's that TK arrow again. dudeakoff's going to make the most out of it, get the hard knockdown.
Yeah, big conversion.
Risky spot dodge. Light's still living this though. Grateful is back, needs to be careful on the jump in, but it's going to be the TK arrow that catches the EX oath in, and yeah, we're keeping it so even tonight.
Yeah. And the TK arrow is just so good at calling all of those like forward moving options, right?
It really is, yeah. It's so good against Scarlet Oak.
And it feels like it's definitely an option that dudeakoff really likes to use a lot, but he's been using it more, and I really like it because, as I said at the start, Light was very much onto using Scarlet Oath to get closer, especially the EX version. And it feels like this has been identified and hasn't been working all that much anymore. And I want to see what Light's response is going to be to that, because I'm pretty sure that if I've identified that dudeakoff has been sniffing them out, Light has certainly done that as well.
Well, I mean, the response I expect Light to have, and the one that we might be seeing, is I think he's just going to start close heavy again.
Yeah,
Light
that
is
makes
more
sense.
than happy to kind of cool it out. It's more just a matter of if and when he's able to. But that is probably going to be the response he wants to employ. Or he might be DPing it if he wants to kill safe.
Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely reasonable. So back to the corner.
Been locked in, catches a mash, but not able to convert off this second time there as well.
I kind of like those empty, like, neutral jumps as well, to just kind of, like, test the waters. Because Metera is not one of those characters. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, that surprised me.
Yeah. So Metera is not one of those characters that really has that. Ooh, okay, that's trap kind of hit. Those like huge anti-air combos, right? And she is one of those characters that have like a little bit more of a conditional type of conversions. Ooh, it's going to hit.
Nope.
It is not, and we're gonna get the punish and the kill. Yeah, so I think when you're in that spacing in the corner, when you're not like very close to Metera, you can just kind of like sniff it out, see what the response is going to be, and then plan your approach accordingly. Nice back throw here.
There we go, gets that safety this time, and the 5U comes out, 100 meter on the table at the same time. Oh dear.
I just want to say, I absolutely detest that setup with the
It's
loopy
crazy.
and the
Very new to a
DP.
similar thing.
Because I know that it's safe, but I can't not press after blocking a DP.
Yeah.
It messes with my brain.
It's one of those things you kind of got to
mental
get used
damage. Yeah. But it's like mental damage for real. It's unfair. Like it doesn't. Is it not enough that the character has like the actual damage? Does he have to inflict like psychological damage as well? I mean, it's too much. It's so cool.
I get it. So yeah, like 5-4 up here. Again, it's so close between the pair of them. I mean, I'm loving this so far. We're nearly 10 games into this set. Well, this is our 10th game.
Yep.
Back for
And it's a very nice back and forth, right? It feels like this is just a great showcase of like watching everything that you want to watch out of this matchup. You see the scrambles, you see the zoning, you see the rushdown, you see the cycling of several options, whether this is the, like a lot more aerial movement, whether this is a lot more Lumi setups, whether it's more butterflies, more zoning, whatever. And honestly, like, yeah, if you're playing either one of those characters or if you're interested in this matchup, this is definitely a set to watch, I feel like. Because we've just seen a lot of variety on the gameplay, and that's really what this is all about, right?
So like,
really
struggling a little bit, kind of just to get in. Is taking this one super slow. dudeakoff's got all the control here. Clash into the rush here is going to work out for him as well. Leave Light on chip point, even though that OD is up.
So I was about to say kind of the same thing, but in reverse. I feel like, yes, Light has been taking it slow, but he has been picking his options pretty well when it comes to approaching, whether alternating between the jumps and the roll throughs and the spot dodges and the forward momentum abilities, specials rather. It feels like it's been less about getting in and more about making it stick for the past couple of games. Which, I mean, okay, it's not like, ooh, that's a nice setup. Yeah. It's not like Light hasn't finding success when he gets in, but dudeakoff has also been.
Good lord.
Yeah, dudeakoff has also been pretty good at traversing defense in the past few games, which is interesting if anything else, because you're not gonna be like, yeah, okay, Metera the character with the great defense or anything. So it's about how you take a look at the matchup, take a look at your opponent's sort of pressure, offense, and or respawn accordingly.
Yeah, we're back to full screen here. Lumi getting sniped on the startup. Kind of one of the things that Vira wants to use the most to kind of force your opponent to get out of the trench that they've dug themselves in at whatever position they may be in. So that option was off the table for a little bit there, but Light is in regardless. Comes out a little bit thanks to the overdrive. And gonna anti-air immediately.
I like this. Yeah. Put Light very close to the chip point. Doesn't have the meter to OD or install quite yet. Okay, there it is. Let's see what the meter use is going to be. It's the OD. Makes sense.
Yeah, scary stuff for dudeakoff at this sort of spacing. He's keeping Light out for the time being. Does manage to catch him with the JM though. With 5-5, we could be looking at a max game set in the near future.
I'm just trying to sort of like process this last round honestly, because it was just really like encapsulated the dynamic of this matchup in my mind about just the risk reward and how we went from corner to corner just playing both of the characters' games.
Oh, great monitoring.
So I'm not quite sure about this, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you, but I feel like Light has been caught off blocking sort of those air projectiles or the butterfly's explosion in the air. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't dudeakoff been able to actually run and do a 2H for the unblockable setups? No,
specifically not Metera, because Metera's 2H and 1H are blockable in the air.
Okay. Well, yeah, it makes sense.
It
makes sense
actually, regardless with like far medium and stuff like that. But yeah, Metera's standard anti-air buttons with 2H and 1H, like fairies, they're air blockable.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, it makes sense. I should have been able to figure it out myself because, well, those buttons are much more like projectiles that anti-air, rather than, those like more conventional ground blue anti-airs. Yeah, don't get me wrong, like I've seen a lot of Metera, but I'm not very confident about saying how Metera actually works.
Yeah, that's okay. We're all here to learn. Light gonna learn how to deal against these projectiles at the moment. dudeakoff not doing much so well on the health side of things, but full meter is just very good. Light got none right now, but it's Vira, so you know that's gonna build quickly. Hops over, nice anti-air, very, very close to not quite getting it, doesn't quite get the kill, but catches the start up on the EX off, and yeah, for the first time in a little bit, dudeakoff's gonna take the lead on this 6-5.
Yeah. So this is the first time since the first 2 games that a player has gotten 2 in a row. So the second time, I guess, rather than we can say that the player actually has a momentum. I want to see whether or not this can continue, because I feel like it also was the first game that dudeakoff won, and it was like a 2-0 in rounds instead of like being a 2-1.
So yeah, got to see if it's a sign that he's pushing that momentum forwards. Again, we're kind of how slow-paced this matchup can be sometimes, which I guess is probably what Metera wants. It can be kind of hard to see if, the momentum is something he's really running away with. But hey, he may well be. That's anti-air there. Yes, grateful, going to push Light into the corner, but MVPs his way straight back out. Nice.
I was sure that was not going to work, but...
Oh no!
That's a very...
bad bluff to put yourself in the corner and lose out on that reversal. I say the combos are long enough for you to get it back, but...
That's like the most unfortunate way to drop, right? Like, you didn't just drop the combo, you dropped it by doing a DP into the corner. So you're in the corner, you don't have a DP, you're about to get hit by like an optimal punish. Just kind of disastrous, if we're being honest.
Nice tag. Yep,
yeah.
Just presses after the even situation. Guess the trade. That's all you need.
Now, and this is something that, okay, this is the second time we've seen this round starts. Like the exact same thing. But it's one of those things that I feel like a lot of the more intermediate players don't think about, but a lot of the top players think about the post-tech scramble situations, right? And identifying... Oh, no, I'm not getting the version there, unfortunately, but yeah, still going to kill with a perfect. But yeah, just identify the what's the optimal button to press here? Like, can I actually respond? Do we go into a scramble? Am I minus? Am I plus? What's, you know, the animation for each different type of teching? And I think it's one of the very interestingly nuanced aspects of the game, which, to be fair, you don't really have to learn if your focus is going to be on Rising, because we know how that's going to be working.
That
So
game
it does
have
make sense.
throws, somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Nice install here for Light at the moment. Got it through the 5U, so that means it is still building. Gonna hit 100 at the end of this combo. Dudeakoff's got the offensive going though. God, he blocked all of that, nice. Dudeakoff's gonna come out in return. Dudeakoff gonna sit on that 100 meter the next time he fires a projectile, and yep, there it is. Attack.
Yeah. This is very scary though. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're 7-5 up now for Dudeakoff.
Yeah, it does feel like there's been a little bit of a momentum shift. And I'm not... How do I put this to make actual sense? Because in my mind it makes perfect sense, but in my words it probably doesn't. It feels like Light has started getting a little bit impatient.
DP there to kind of immediately show it, I guess. But yeah, I'd agree. We're seeing a lot more of these like hyper-offensive ground starts.
Yes,
is kind of
yes, exactly.
And there it is. Ooh. There's that response tech going to lead to the Malady, and yeah, Dudeakoff going to take this round.
Yeah, and what you said is exactly the way that I formulated my point. Like the past 2 games, Light has been literally like running across the screen into Dudeakoff when this round starts, and is like not having any of the whole like zoning business. And I understand it, but at the same time, Dudeakoff is also has been identified there and just been responding in very nice ways. So obviously you don't want to play Metera's pace, you want to establish your own game's pace and just make the other player uncomfortable with that. But I feel like it's a bit of a shame, because Light has been very good throughout the set at playing that slow approach, taking his options, biding his time. I just don't see like why he needs to do that. I mean, again, kind of like, it's a longer set.
Where like, you know, you've got to play a lot of this long distance neutral, and that long distance neutral is being played better both by your opponent's character and just your opponent. So coming to the conclusion of I don't want to play any is, you know, it checks out. It's fine. Light is a very hyper offensive player and makes the most out of the situation he's in, so I get it. But yeah, I think Dudeakoff has been controlling the game substantially better. Saying this at the moment, we're looking down the barrel of near perfect here for Light. Catches that Scarlet Earth. I think Vira has a lot of tools to be able to kind of run that hyper-offensive game plan against Metera.
Oh, yeah.
You know, kind of any distance. You want to be in her face as much as possible. Just going to throw out the over there. That's a sign of frustration. That is very unfortunate for Dudeakoff.
Is it a sign of frustration? I mean, Dudeakoff is basically at chip points, so you can't block it.
But it's just... I find it unlike Light to not do it in response to something.
Okay, that's fair.
Like when you think about it, the situation makes sense. But knowing how Light plays, that's not how I think he was thinking about the situation. Of course, I could be completely wrong. But
I mean, I think both arguments make sense, right? It can both be. Yeah, it can both be like a sign of just I want to finish this round just right now. And also be about just, this is gonna work. It feels like a lot of these 5Ds have been connecting the past 2 games. That's not where you want to be if you're Dudeakoff.
That Scarlet over in again, gets the extension off of it as well. Good going. Hard knockdown into the Lumi. Tries to catch, jump out, and he's gonna hit the RP instead. Suddenly we're nearly even between the pair of them again.
Yeah. Just as
previously Dudeakoff was the one with the momentum, it feels like Light has been taking the last 3 or so rounds very convincingly. And, you know, just obviously, since I'm here in the Ballroom event and talking about something, the second that I say something is happening, the inverse is going to happen. So at this point, I've just gotten used to it, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah,
Wow, nice.
yeah. You get, like, at this, just as I say that, yeah, I think like has momentum, guys. Yeah, dudeakoff just like absolutely washes
That's
them.
how it is. It's a very swingy matchup where two characters
Yeah.
are going to be on different sides of the screen from each other. So, hey, you know, Scarlet Oath. There's something I haven't mentioned actually is Metera is a 6-frame character. You know, she has no access to 5-frame buttons. So that Scarlet Oath being -1 on block essentially ends up just being 0. We've seen that situation coming quite a bit where Light's managed to Scarlet Oath his way in. And then the situation that's come afterwards is a trade situation. So
Okay, so this is a really bad position to be in for dudeakoff.
oh dear.
Yeah, that's gonna kill.
Light ready for the
Oh,
reversal
sorry.
super. And yeah, we're back to an even set here, 7-7. We got up to 6 more games of this left. Personally, I'm hoping it goes that way.
I feel like we've kind of gone full circle, and the past couple of games have been very similar to the ones that we had at the start, where it was much more about mid-screen Scarlet Oaths to get in, go for the 5Us, and just try to force your way in from Light's side. But this time it feels like dudeakoff has not been as ready to respond. Which to be fair, he wasn't like exactly fully ready to respond at the first 2 games of the set either, but adapted to that very well as we went on.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's been a quote-unquote regression on that part.
I feel like he's kind of sitting back in the corner for quite a while here. This has definitely worked out for him. I love the TK arrow there to continue that pressure. But he's just sitting back a little bit more, judging how these approaches are working. Nice anti-S. Not quite going to be enough to kill, but going to be throw range. Yeah.
I really like those.
Why are you pressing on wake up?
Yeah, that was a bit uncharacteristic, I feel like.
There was a little bit, maybe wanted to catch that hop in on the chance he mistimed it, but not going to happen.
I've been really liking those anti-air supers from dudeakoff, just utilizing that unblockable super to just say, yeah, you can't jump. You're not gonna do this to me right now.
Just take your damage. Use your meter better than
Yeah.
Power does. You don't need to save it for Isaac. It's all good.
Exactly. I mean, this is also kind of like, I feel, one other thing that separates the more seasoned players to not again.
Really nice.
Yeah, it separates a lot of the more seasoned players to the newer ones is the willingness to use the meter, the willingness to use the rush, to not save for OD, don't save for super, or just send the super quickly once you have the 100 meter and start building up again, right? It's quite important because when the game first came out, you didn't really have a lot to do with your meter, right? And now we have all those different options which bring more nuance to the meter management. And just as Light got Melody last round, dudeakoff is going to get this one, and he's not in a very good position right now, is he?
Loving the Grace View and then the spot dodge on the OD, so that was a beautiful sequence.
So one of the unsung things about Graceview is also the fact that I'm not sure exactly how many levels attacks have in Grand Blue. I don't remember if it's 4 or 5, but it has the highest attack level.
It has,
which means that
for what is essentially a normal. Yes.
yeah. So when it clashes with other normals, it's okay. I haven't labbed this extensively, but it wins against most of them. And especially against Metera, who has this lower attack level normals, it's just going to win against
So
nearly all of them, right?
the reason the Grace View is such a strong option in that situation is universally in this game, jump normals have a lower clash level than your grounded normals.
Yeah.
Normally by a factor of 1. So if you've got a medium on the ground that is a clash level of 3, then your jump medium will have a clash level of 2. So Graceview having a higher clash level than basically every jump normal in the game essentially makes it kind of like a moon skill PP type of where you're not going to be beating things out by invincibility, but instead you're going to be beating them out by clashing moves, where you either get a clash situation where both players don't really have an advantage. They can kind of go into jump L's, which are normally 5 or 6 frames, or they can go to air throw or something like that, which will be synchronized between the characters. Or Vira gets a crush with Graceview, it's a counter hit, the combos off the bat are nutty. So yeah, it's a very advantageous situation for Install Vira.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those like more unsung strengths of Install Vira, but it makes sense because she has a lot of things going for her during install, so...
Let's jump over the 5U attempt here.
Yeah, and
got that corner. Never mind.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, right? With dudeakoff has been really good at jumping those 5Us, but he still gets hit. And this is one of the strengths of Vira's game plan. She can go for that, especially when you're one of those quote-unquote lower damage characters, right? And I really like the fact that Light identifies that and goes for it. He's not like, oh, he's been dodgy jumping my 5U, might as well just stop and install with Metera. I think it's very important to not lock yourself out of those options. Because then, obviously, another penalty. We're French today, for sure. But yeah, it's one of those very important things, to not lock yourself out of options. Because then you also lose on the mental stack game, right? Which is very important.
I agree with you. Sorry, that was...
Yeah,
Man,
I mean,
gets
we
melodied twice.
back to back, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. So, we're at 9-7 in dudeakoff's favour, coming up towards a potentially set point here. Light has to win the next 3 games in a row, and this is his hyper offense working. It's absolute golden.
Yeah.
Oh god. 100 meter
Yeah,
on the
that's
table as well for Install Vira.
The Luby overhead.
Probably coming. Light is going to be aware of that fact. Yeah, he was patient for a little bit there. He was expecting it to come. And certainly, one of those games that he needs to win is over.
Yeah,
fast.
I mean, the second you say he needs to win 3 games in a row, he hits the 5U and has 100 meter. So I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, if he brings it back, this is how it starts, right?
It definitely is, and it's continuing. Oh, the reversal overhead is going to commit. Ooh, what's he doing? What's happening?
This is
no.
This is a bit of cake gameplay, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about the 2H overhead combos in the Discord. I'm going to talk about the overheads, and okay, it's fine.
I understand. This drive counter hit going to come in here. Nice, simple round for Light. This momentum is just so incredibly in his favor right now.
Yeah, just 3 very commanding rounds back to back, isn't it? And
what's happening?
What's happening? Yeah, dudeakoff just having a little bit of fun.
I'm just going to concede this game and go to double Luigi.
He stopped. We'll see.
Stopped.
Yeah. Okay, he's starting again.
This is hard to commentate. That's what this is.
I think he's losing it to her.
The overhead demon has appeared. You've got to keep using that universal overhead before it goes in the next game.
Yeah, I'm calling Vira. He's gonna put a stop to this. Okay, we're playing the game now. Kind of. Okay, out of the corner. That's very nice.
Out of the corner, back into more overheads and neutral. The X-Lumi's going to come in. Does manage to connect, but Light's not close enough to get anything out of it. We'll push him into this other corner though. There's the corner escape. Tries to go for an air throw, but probably wanted to super jump there instead.
There we go.
This is going to land in another round. So yeah, set point.
Yep. So we've been a little bit silly, but at least we're also getting some good gameplay among the silliness. That's good to see.
You see Light immediately running in again here, not even responding to the fact that he's been popped at, and yeah, now looking very difficult for him, but the World Blaze jump out, resets into the 5U, suddenly things are back on the table, the back shift is going to get caught by Lumi. Bro,
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but
what are you doing to yourself, man?
this is how it starts, isn't it? Still winnable, but very hard right now. Gonna get hit with the overhead, and I mean, let's face it, you should probably lose after doing that.
He's going to take a little bit on the rematch screen here, just to kind of get over whatever that was. Let the intros
Listen,
rock for a little bit.
I appreciate it. You wanted to go to the 4 games. dudeakoff was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Cake. So, if anything, you should be thanking him.
That's for real. Yeah, Light immediately in with the momentum again. Safe DP gonna come out here, and just the mallet.
This has been happening so much.
Attacking so much. Not using spot dodge. Oh, it's dropping! dudeakoff forced to block on wake up here, gets the punish with overhead. I see what's happening. Chip point. And dudeakoff's end. Light's just gotta get in one more time essentially.
Okay, we have the meter now.
He does. It's true. There's
yeah,
you're not reacting to that. And set point now for Light.
Yeah.
It's entirely likely that there's some connection tomfoolery going on.
I'm pretty sure there was at the start at least. Something was mentioned in the chat. Haven't been paying too much attention to the chat, if I'm being honest. After that, but yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a, in terms of like connection. This matchup is also a bit of like, you know, immovable object and double force, right?
Yeah.
Light's laptop. dudeakoff's is
dudeakoff's internet.
yeah, dudeakoff's is brother downloading Call of Duty. So, however, regardless, whether or not we've had like the best of connections or not, we don't know. But it's still been a banger. So
Definitely.
right now,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're doing double easy as well again. Our final game, final round.
so this was a
Kick off.
bit of a Mickey Mouse sort of round, wasn't it? Just chasing around dudeakoff, and he's just having none of it, just jumping around.
Nice anti-air. Good extension here, just gonna push Light straight into corner, butterfly set up. He's not blocking on wake up, and yeah, everything looking cool. dudeakoff here. Doesn't choose to spin the meter, nice decision, I'd say so. And Light really needs something to get out of this, and Vira's damage is just what he's gonna need. Wants to push him in that left hand corner, but dudeakoff teching the command grab.
That's a very nice response.
I would do the same.
Yeah, that is a very nice response. Just, I mean, it makes sense. Light is at basically a point where he needs to land the 5U to be able to win that, right? To reverse that situation. So obviously dudeakoff is going to be looking out for that. So makes sense. dudeakoff is gonna take it. And honestly, the way that the set started, I mean, it was looking like certainly was going to be close, but I kind of was feeling that like Light was going to get it. But dudeakoff managed to get those really nice streaks of momentum, get those games back to back, had this really, you know, like the 9-7 lead, and then just, you know, did some silliness, did some running around here and there, but at the end of the day, that was a really nice set. Really like that. And again, I'm really happy because I feel like we saw all of those things, all of those like different dynamics and small situations that just make this matchup interesting, right? Which I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter which character you're playing. If you're Vira or if you're Metera, you probably don't want to play against the other character, but it's still very nice to watch, I think. So for spectators, it's definitely a little bit more fun, I would say, than the players. But
for real. But yeah, that's our first max game set that we've had here, and we've been going for quite a while tonight, actually. So thank you everyone who's stuck around. We got no raid targets tonight, unfortunately, so we're going to be ending things here. But thank you everyone who has come along, of course to our players, and of course to Roku, who's joined me on commentary today.
thank you for having me again. And Well, I'm really looking forward to more ballroom sets, whether as a spectator or as a commentator. So it's been fun. This format has been really cool. And I feel like it's been filling, a little bit of dead space in the grand scheme of like the current state of Grand Blue. We're just kind of like waiting for something to come along, in terms of at least like rising breadcrumbs. So yeah. Been really nice.
We're going to be swapping over to Grand Blue versus Rising events relatively soon. There was an announcement post made yesterday. If you missed that post, then you can type !socials in the chat right now. That'll take you to the Promenade Twitter. One of the first posts there will be a link to that challenge announcement post. Or you can just go to the challenge community page, which is challenge.com/communities/Promenade GBVS. That will give you all the information you need to know about the transition into Rising, including some dates on when our events are going to start. You've been watching Promenade Ballroom. The link that you can see on your screen right now, also in !Discord, will take you to the Discord where you can sign up for these events. And yeah, they've been a wonderful time. Also, just want a real quick shout out Outplayed as well, just before we go, as we talked about it earlier. If you want to come along and get those exclusive, for the time being, early bird sign-ups, they're on for another 3 more days. And hey, once again, my endorsement on how good this event is down in Vienna. Wonderful place to be, wonderful event. And yeah, I think we'll call it here for tonight. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. And
yeah,
we'll see you on Saturday for the weeklies.
Yeah. And tomorrow is the weekend, so come Womble.
Yeah, Womble will be happening.
Yeah. So without further ado, it's just gonna be a bye.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night.